What's up, everyone? It's me, Marcus, and I hope that you are all doing exceptionally well. The first thing I wanted to do is thank all of you. Thank you for watching, thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting in the videos. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Obviously, I don't make any money from doing this channel, so what I get out of it is the ability to interact with all of you. And that's what really makes the channel for me. That's why I produce these videos. So thank you so much. The purpose of this video is to plan out my agenda for 2016, to speak a little bit about my favorite games of 2015, and also mention some thoughts that have been bouncing around in my head. So as far as plans for 2016, I'm currently in the middle of two mini-series, The Curious Expedition and Thea the Awakening. Now when I say mini-series, what I mean is a series that I expect to be no more than 30 episodes, maybe less. When I mention a real series or a full series, what I mean is between 30 and 50 episodes. And sometimes things get completely out of control, like Dwarf Fortress, which goes up to be like 100 episodes. But in general, those are the numbers I'm working with. So, and these are just estimates. Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen when I start a series. It could be shorter or longer than I intended, depending on what's going on. Once these two mini-series are complete, or at least the first one of them is complete, I intend to do a series on Dominions 4. I'm not going to talk about it, however, until it gets started, because I don't want to spoil it, but it's something I've been planning for, and I hope it'll go really well. In terms of Byzantine history type series, my plan is at some point in the future to do the the expansion campaign for Attila Total War known as The Last Roman, which focuses on Flavius Belisarius and his conquests of North Africa and Italy for the Roman Empire. However, before I do that, I'd like to do my homework and read up a little bit more. I've already read one biography of Belisarius, and I'm about halfway through another one. And of course, after that, there's the primary source itself, Procopius, and his histories of the wars, and also his the secret history, which is like a gossip rag about Justinian and Theodora. So also, I want to practice the campaign a little bit before I start recording it, because the Romans are a horde, H-O-R-D-E faction, much like the Huns in the regular game, and I don't have a lot of experience with that. I'm more of a traditionalist, build your cities, lead armies from them, so being a horde faction is going to be something I need to learn a bit better. In terms of other Byzantine-related things, I don't know if I'll necessarily get into anything besides The Last Roman in 2016. If I do, I think I might want to go chronological, which would mean that the next series would have to be more the Middle Byzantine period, something like Medieval 2's mod Broken Crescent, which shows you the empire kind of at the rise, well, not the rise of Islam, but kind of the middle period of Islam, where you've got the Seljuk Turks and all that goodness. So that might be something to consider. Something like Europa Universalis 4, which takes place quite late in the history of Byzantium, that's going to come much later. And I don't necessarily know if that'll make it into 2016 or not. We'll see. The historical LPs are a lot of fun, but they're definitely the most difficult LPs that I do, because I have to study up for each episode on my history and also find a way to weave it in with the gameplay so it's not particularly jarring. In Attila, I had a benefit in that the battles, while you were waiting for the troops to get into position, there was some free time to speak about history. Now, in a game like Europa Universalis, I'm not entirely sure where you would fit that in and make it sound natural. Another thing I've been considering, and I want to put it out to you guys to see if it'd be something you're interested in watching, is when I first started my channel, I started a series on the extended edition, or the enhanced edition of Baldur's Gate 2, The Shadows of Am and the Throne of Baal. And I did a number of episodes on that, but it just kind of petered out. The views just weren't there. I had a much smaller channel then, however. So if there's still an audience for that out there, if there's a few of you who would like to see me resume that series, maybe not on the daily, but, you know, once in a while, please let me know. I'll take it either way here. It's what you guys would like. If you want to see more episodes of that, I'll do it. If you don't, I'll move on to something else. Now, in terms of games that have yet to be released, but may be released in 2016 that I might consider playing, definitely on the top of that list is XCOM 2. Because I really, really enjoyed the first XCOM, and that is the first remake. No, I'm not talking about the original XCOM. I don't have much experience with that one, actually. The thing is, though, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be doing it. So I don't necessarily know if it'll be good for the channel in the sense that there'll be other more popular channels doing it, and I'll be, in essence, competing with them. But it's still fun, and I like to name squad members after viewers, and I would be playing the game anyway. So it's not a ton of extra work to record it, but that's something I've definitely been considering. I also kickstarted a game called Torment Tides of Numenera that I'm looking forward to immensely. However, it is not likely something that's going to be on the channel. It's a long, wordy RPG, similar to Baldur's Gate 2, and those are very hard to do because you have to read all the dialogue. Or I guess you don't have to, but I like to. And so I'll probably just be playing that one for fun, and there may be a Stoic Plays episode or two about that. And just to digress really quickly, still to this day, I hear from people who say, Marcus, what's A Stoic Plays? Or I don't get what this series is about. So let me clarify here. I noticed when I was doing regular series that the most popular episodes were always the first and second episodes of a series. They'd get a ton of views, ton of likes, people were really pumped about it, lots of comments, and then over time it would taper off. And that's, human nature. No one has time to watch 50 YouTube videos by some random guy. But I thought, okay, well, what if I did a series where it was nothing but first and second episodes, all of different games? Because I play a lot of games that I don't necessarily showcase on my channel. And I thought, that's going to be great. People are going to love that. There's going to be so many views because it's going to be basically first and second episodes of a bunch of new stuff, but not the 30th and 40th episode that doesn't get that many views. And either people just don't get what I was trying to do with the series, or there's some other reason, but the views for A Stoic Plays are actually rather low. I'm not entirely certain why. So if you're just sitting there and you're wondering, what Stoic Plays, what are you talking about? Or you just didn't know what that was, it's a grab bag series where I just play whatever. It could be a AAA game like Fallout 4. It could be a little indie game. It could be a mod. And occasionally, like with Savanapum Mahayuth, a game that I profile in A Stoic Plays could potentially turn into a real series if there's interest. So that's kind of what it is. It's like a proving ground, kind of grab bag, and it allows me to have fun and play a bunch of games outside of the games I play necessarily for the channel. Because if you look at 2015, I basically played 3 games only for the channel, right? We got Dwarf Fortress, we got Attila with the Eastern Romans in history, and then we had Mount & Blade Savanapum Mahayuth. And I play a lot more than 3 games in a year, and obviously it gets a little tiring after a while to just play the same games over and over again. Your mileage may vary. Some people love that shit. But that was the reason for that series, so that I can quickly showcase games I'm playing on the side, and also give some exposure to cool indie or new games that could use it. So yeah, segue aside. Finally, another game I kickstarted for 2015 and might come out in 2016 is a game called The Mandate, which is like a spaceship simulator plus RPG. It looks really intense and cool, and the story that they're weaving around it is really fantastic. It's just, imagine Imperial Tsarist Russia in space, and it's just really super cool, all with magical powers. So I'm really looking forward to that one, and hopefully if the gameplay turns out to be as good as I hope it will be, that's something I'll be showcasing on the channel. And that's the plan so far for 2015. It's just a sketch, or 2016. Obviously, things are going to change with time, and I want to leave it open so that if something new comes out that I wasn't even expecting, obviously I could do something cool with that. Now, with regards to 2015, I would say that of all the games I played, the Game of the Year award is kind of a toss-up between The Witcher 3 and Fallout 4. And I feel like that bears a little bit of explanation. If you look at purely just the amount of time I spent playing a game, Fallout 4 would win. However, A lot of that was just the settlement designing minigame, which I really enjoyed. And a lot of it is also the nature of Fallout 4, which has what are called radiant quests that allow you to do the same quests over and over again. Whereas The Witcher was a very much more story-driven, tight experience. Now, if you're talking about quality of game, quality of writing, quality of story, The Witcher, hands down, is the better game. And I probably will say that it is. As much as I love the history of Fallout and the Fallout lore in general, and I've played all the Fallout games and loved them, I will say that The Witcher 3, in my opinion, was a better game. And it all boils down to the fact that, unfortunately, Bethesda took Fallout in a direction which I don't personally agree with. I appreciate the roots of Fallout, which was an RPG, where your actions mattered and you made choices, and those choices reflected in the game world. And what Bethesda did with Fallout 4, basically, is they turned it into Call of Duty The Wasteland, where it's mostly just a shooter with really great shooter mechanics. Don't get me wrong, the gameplay aspect of the shooting is much better than in previous iterations, but it just seemed like it moved too fast to me. Like, you're involved in these situations that are about the fate of the wasteland, and you're playing one faction off against another, and it's all resolved in 2 lines of dialogue, like written in crayon. Your choices were agree but be sarcastic about it, disagree, or ask for 1 sentence of additional information. And that's the same with every single conversation in the entire game. And I feel like that's unnecessarily dumbing down what used to be a great RPG. And I'm not saying it's not still a great game. It absolutely is. I loved it. But I'm just sad that they kind of moved away from what I especially enjoyed about the previous games. But it sold like 1 billion copies. So obviously they were rewarded for their business decision there. So yeah, I'd probably have to say that my game of the year was Witcher 3, followed up by Fallout 4 at number 2. And number 3 would probably have to be Shadowrun Hong Kong, which was a great game, loved it. Wasn't as good as Shadowrun Dragonfall, which is very faint damnation because that game was almost perfect. So saying that it's not as good as that, that's not really a criticism as such. So that was, in my opinion, 2015. Those were my 3 favorite games. So moving on to some closing thoughts before I let you go again. And if you've made it this far, congratulations, I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about stuff that I have opinions about. As they say, opinions are like elbows. Everybody's got one. In fact, some people have 2. I do. Yeah? And so thanks. Thanks for putting up with me. But one thing I want to do in 2016 is I want to reduce my channel to 2 concurrent series at a time. I did 3 in 2015, and I feel like what that did is it drug out those 3 games over the entire year. And I don't like that, and I don't think the viewers like that. I think from what I understand from the comments, the people who really enjoyed my series the most are the ones that came to them late and binge watched them, like over the course of a week. Those people were involved, they were pumped. Whereas those of you who started with episode 1, I can understand why you weren't able to continually follow up with the series over the course of an entire year. That's a lot to ask of anybody, especially for what is essentially a amateur backyard LP channel. You know, I'm not a professional voice actor or entertainer. And so in 2016, I want to only focus on 2 series at a time. That way they can move substantially more briskly than 2015. And that way we can get to more things, and I don't give people as much time to kind of get bored and lose track of what I'm doing. I'll still have occasional kind of random episodes of Stoic Plays and maybe some mod showcases of Dominions 4, stuff like that. But as far as the main series are concerned, I'm going to stick to 2 at a time. I think that's the best way to go. I see no reason why I can't continue to stick to my ratio of 5 episodes a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays and Sundays, with Mondays and Fridays being my days off. Though again, my life is chaotic sometimes, so that can totally change. So when I say goal 5 a week, at some point is what I'm shooting for, but it could in some weeks drop down to 4, depending on what's going on in my life. As far as the channel is concerned, I would have enjoyed seeing a bit more growth in 2015 than I did. I certainly grew. I was happy to pass 5,000 subscribers, and now I'm edging in on 6,500, I think, or somewhere thereabouts. But considering I've put out about 650 videos over the course of 2 years, I would have hoped that it would be a little bigger. Not, again, because I don't monetize, not for money purposes, but just to show that there is an audience out there for what I'm doing and people are appreciating it. Now, I know that the way I do things, it's not conducive of YouTube's spider algorithms and how they advertise channels. For one thing, I do not focus on one specific game. I'm all over the place, which makes it hard for YouTube to categorize me in terms of like putting my page on other people's pages as a similar page you should check out. And also, I don't monetize, so I think that is a bit of a negative as well in terms of YouTube's motivation to want to get my channel's name out there, because they don't make any money off of it. So what is their incentive to promote it? None. And I agree with that. I think that's perfectly reasonable for them to feel that way in terms of business decisions. But we'll see. Maybe 2016 will be a bit better. Maybe I'll do a little bit more to market myself outside of YouTube, like in forums and whatnot that are related to the kind of games that I play. We'll see. If you have any thoughts or any ideas, by all means, I'd love to hear them. I kind of want it all, I guess, in the sense that I want to grow my channel, but at the same time, I want to keep the nice, cordial, really highly intelligent tenor that it currently has in the comments. I mean, when you look around YouTube, you see some comments that just ruin your faith in humanity. And when you look at my channel and the comments that I get, they're all very reasonable, well thought out. You know, they're intelligent, they add to the discussion, they're providing me information I didn't already know about the games, and I've been greatly impressed by the quality of the conversations taking place in the comments. So perhaps I should, I don't know, be careful what I wish for. But anyway, I have talked your ear off now for almost 20 minutes, and that's a lot. So I'm going to stop now. But once again, I just want to thank you all so much for watching my videos, for commenting, for being a part of this channel. I truly appreciate it. I hope you enjoy what I'm currently doing, and I hope that you continue to enjoy what I plan to do in the future. So once again, I am Marcus Aurelius. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good one. Have a good 2016, everyone. Huzzah.